Good day to each and everyone, especially to you, Miss Roxanne Cajes. I am here to tackle about the lesson 3, which is biblical literature. So what is biblical literature? Biblical literature refers to the collection of religious texts that make up the Bible, considered sacred and central to the beliefs of various religious traditions, including Christianity and Judaism. It includes diverse literary genres such as historical narratives, poetry, prophecies, and teachings that convey spiritual and moral guidance. The New Testament has 27 books total, which consist of the following. First, the historical books. Mateo presents Jesus as the Messiah o tagapagligtas, a genealogy of Jesus through Joseph, a fulfillment of Old Testament prophecy. Mark presents Jesus as the servant. One-third of the Gospel deals with the last week of his life. Luke presents Jesus as the Son of Man to seek and save the lost, a genealogy of Jesus through Mary, the largest of the Gospels. John presents Jesus as God in flesh, the Christ, so that you might believe. And lastly, Acts, historical account from Jesus' ascension o pagsaka to travels of Paul in his missionary journeys. In the context of the New Testament, historical books refers to specific writings that recount the life, teaching, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ, as well as the early development of the Christian Church. The four Gospels, the five Gospels, which is Mateo, Mark, Luke, John, and Acts, are considered historical books in the New Testament, providing accounts of Jesus' ministry and the events surrounding his life. These books are foundational to Christian theology and serve as primary sources for understanding the origins of Christianity. Pauline, the second is the Pauline epistles, also known as epistles of Paul or letters of Paul, are the 13 books of the New Testament attributed to Paul the Apostle. First is Romans. A systematic examination of justification, sanctification, and glorification examines God's plan for the Jesus and the Gentiles. 1. Corinthians. This letter deals with factions and corrections due to immorality, lawsuits, and abuse of the Lord's Supper. Also mentions idols, marriage, and the resurrection. 2 Corinthians. Paul defense of his apostles' position. Galatians. Paul refutes the error of legalism and examines the proper place of grace in the Christian's life. Ephesians. The believer's position in Christ and information on spiritual warfare. Philippians. Paul speaks of his imprisonment and his love for the Philippians. He exhorts them to godliness and warns them of legalism. The epistles of Paul the Apostle to the Colossians. Paul focuses on the preeminence or kadakilaan of Jesus in creation, redemption, and godliness. The first letter of Paul to the Thessalonians. Paul's ministry to the Thessalonians, teachings on purity and mention of the return of Christ. The second letter of Paul to the Thessalonians is about corrections on the day of the Lord. The first letter of Paul to Timothy, instructions to Timothy on proper leadership and dealings with false teachers and the role of women, prayer and requirements of elders and deacons. The second epistles of Paul to Timothy is a letter of encouragement to Timothy to be strong. The epistle of Paul the Apostle to Titus. Paul left Titus in Crete to care for the churches there. It is a requirement for elders. So, last is the letter of Paul to Philemon. A letter to the owner of runaway slave. Paul appeals to Philemon to forgive Onesimus. Ang meaning sa Onesimus is useful, profitable, and beneficial. A descriptive words like this were often given to slaves, and that is exactly how we find this name in the New Testament. The non-Pauline epistles which is si Miss Torion na ang mo discuss diha nga part. And that's the end of my discussion. Thank you.